Hello guys, welcome to this video. In our last video we talked about Node.js introduction, what Node.js is all about, how it works and all that. So we went ahead to successfully create our working environment, our Node.js environment, and this is where we stopped in our last in the last video. So if you have not watched the last video, I will drop a link on the description of this video to enable you watch it so that you'll be following what we'll be doing in this video without any confusion. So today we'll be talking about routes and controllers. In Express we have what we call routing. So today we'll talk about it in full. So let's go straight away now to the documentation of express routing so that we'll get an overview of how routing works and all that. So I'll just go to express.com, the official site of Express. So I'll go to basic routing. So let's talk about routing. Routing refers to determining how an application responds to a client request to a particular endpoint, which is a URL or path, and a specific HTTP request method, GET, POST, and so on. So in our last video we talked about HTTP request method, but we didn't go into it in full. So routing, when we talk about routing, you'll be hearing HTTP request method and your path and all that. So now, they say routing refers to determining how an application responds to a client request to a particular endpoint. This thing that we just did here, app.get, then a path, our path, then the function. This is just routing. So now this app is our express instance. So now then this is a HTTP method. So we'll be talking about HTTP method. When we talk about routing, you'll be talking about the instance of the express, then the method, the path and handler. Handler is the function that if the route match, then the function that will be executed, that's the handler. Then the path is your path, your endpoint that you specify for a client to to match your handler. Then this is the HTTP request method. So you can click here to go to HTTP request method explanation so that we'll know some basic HTTP request method. So now we have get, we have head, we have post, we have put, we have delete, we have connect options, many of them. So you can come here and read about it, but the basic one that will be using, you'll be seeing us using get, post and all that, then put in some cases. So now the get method request that the target resource transfer a representation of its state. So get request should only retrieve data and should have no other effect. So now in this case now we use app.get. So and if you run this, if you stop this our server and run it again, node app.js, I click on enter. Sorry, node app. Node.js. um So if we go to our browser, we type localhost 9000, enter, we hit on enter. So you can see hello world. So this HTTP request method get only retrieves data, you only retrieve information. Anything that is inside this your handler, this function now, it only retrieves it. So now that's the work of the get method. So when we talk about the post method, because you'll be seeing us use get post. So now then the post method requires that the target resource process the presentation enclosed in the request according to the semantic of the tag resource. So for example, it is used for posting a message to an internet forum, subscribing to a mailing list, or completing an online shopping. You know that if you visit a website, then if you request anything, if you click on anything on the web page, then make a request to the server. Dat request, you are making a post, you are sending data to be processed to the internet forum. So we use post method to achieve that. So we'll go straight away in writing. How do you write the post method? So now I'll just do the express instance dot post. You see it, dot post. So dot post, I will specify my path, so that I want the post method to take. So I will say slash my name, post my name like this. You specify it like this, then specify your handler. That's your function, request response, then this, like this. So now I will send a response to the browser, to the client side, to show that this is a post request. So rest dot send, I'll send got a post request. So now this, you know that this now, if I say home, the path, if I come here now, hit on enter, let me refresh, start my server, node app.js. So now if I refresh my server, my website, sorry. So now you see cannot get forward slash. So now in the case that you use forward slash, if you use forward slash like this to define your path, it enables it enables the user access the your route just like that. So without specifying any other part. So like that. So but if you specify something, if you write something like this forward slash home, so before this is accessed, either a page that you are rendering or the function that you want to execute, before it executes, this route must be matched before this executes. So now let's restart our server and refresh. If I refresh, it will say cannot get, but if I say slash home, you can see a logo. So this route. Now this part that you specified is matched. That's why this is being executed. So now that was how this routing works. So if this part that you specify, if it does not match the if the part that they specify, the user specify here in this URL now, it will not execute this function here. So now this post method, if you come here, copy this to execute it like how this get method is being executed here, it won't work. It won't work. So get cannot get this thing. So this is not how to test a post request. So now for you to be able to test your post request, for you to be able to do that, we need to use Postman to be testing our endpoint. So our API endpoint. So we're going to go to Postman right now. So now Postman has an extension in VS Code. So I don't need to go and download Postman. Postman, you can go and read about Postman, how it works. This is the platform. So now you just create an account and log in, then you can be able to test your API endpoint. So now I have it here in my extension. So but if you want to get it in your own VS Code extension, you can just go to these extensions. If you click here, go to extensions, type Postman, you see Postman. This is the one that you install. If you install Postman, it is enabled already. So you enable it. So for you to get started, if you click on it, if you have not signed in, it will prompt you to sign in. So you can, if you have not created, if you don't have an account, you need to create an account for you to use Postman in this VS Code. So now I will click on HTTP request. If I click on HTTP request, you see some tabs, you see this authorization and the rest of them. So now I'm just testing my API request, my API endpoint. So I'll just click on this body. I'll click on raw and type JSON. I choose JSON. So now it's here now that you test your API endpoint. So now, because we are not building we are not building a site interface. So we are building API that the front end, the user interface will use and work. So now you test your API endpoint here. So now if you come here, choose, you see many HTTP request method. We choose post. Then here now you enter your URL or path text. So now you do the same thing that we normally do on your web browser. Localhost, you access it by localhost plus your port 9000 slash, then slash your endpoint, this your path. So now like this, I specify it like this, post my name, this my path. So now if this path match this function will execute. If it didn't match, it will throw error. It will show you the error. So now if I click on send, got a post request, That's it. So that's how this works on a website. So if you route this to a particular button in your website, that's why, like, most website, like, for instance, a shopping website, if you click on a button that sends a post request, this is how it's been done. So these endpoints will be connected to the button. Then if you click on it, it will send a post request. Then the handler, the function now on the server side will now execute, then now returns a response to you, the user, on the client web browser. So that's how it works. So now, hope you get the point. So now, here now, we have done get, we have done post. So now I want us to do some movement in our folder structure. So now we're talking about routes and controllers in this video. So we are not going to be leaving this in this our root file app.js. We need to separate them into sections, into folders, so that your work will be neat. If you are working on a big application or any application, you don't need to be doing this right inside this your app.js. It makes your work look tattered. So we're going to separate these our route and our handlers into routes and controllers. So the controller code is the function that will be executed when the route is being matched. The path you specified is being matched. So now we're going to separate them into folders. So we're going to be creating folders, different folders. So I'll click here. So I'm on the root, I'm on the directory of this our folder, that's Node.js. So now I'll click on this one. So now I'm going to create a folder. So, and this will, by the end of this course, you'll be able to see an MVC folder structure. So now we're going to create a folder named src, our source folder. If we create it, then inside that folder you click on it, then click on this folder icon, then you create a folder called routes. This here will be performing our routing and all that. So now we'll click on it again, then we'll create another folder, name it controllers. Yes, we are there. So now, if I want to perform this, I'm going to go into this controllers, create a file, then name it based on what I want to do, then create a route for it, and then connect the both of them right here in my root file. So now let's go to that. So now I want to create a file inside this controller. So I will create a file, name it this page controller. So I shorten it. So you don't need to be typing full in this your work now. The user using your site is not seeing this your server environment now. So you, for good programming practice, you shorten your words to your specific terms. So now I'll name my own page cont, that's controller.js. I'll hit on enter. Then I'll come here, create a file. I will name it page route.js. Node.js. So now any function that I write here, I will specify the route, the URL to access the function here. So that's how it works, route controllers. So now I will do the same thing that I did here, but you see how it's been done in real life application. So now I will, there in this controller, how you write your controller code. In the code and functions that you do here, you often refer it as modules. So how you write your modules in this controller folder, you write it. There are many ways to achieve that. So but I'm going to show you the method that you can use. So anyone that you prefer, you use. So now you can just, if you want to, for instance, you want to get a page, or let's send some dummy text to the web browser. So I will just say home get home like this. I will name it like this, home page. I'll say is equal to my request API response is equal to this. This is my function. So I will now do res dot send hello world, hello world. So now, so what I will do now is to export this function so that I can be able to use it here. So if you not export this function, you cannot use it in this route, page route. So what we'll be doing is that we'll export this. You do module export this one is equal to like this. Then you export this get home page like this. So now coming here, you just do import. Let's import our express cons express our express, because we'll be using express to route our endpoint. So now you do cons express is equal to require express to import your express. So now we'll now import this our page controller that will be getting our functions, that if any route we specify here is being matched, then the function will execute. So we need to import it so that we can be able to use anything, access any function inside this controller page. So now I'm going to require, I'll do const page controller is equal to require. I'll specify the folder path. If I do dot slash, you see controllers, then forward slash page roller. So now that's it. So I've successfully imported my page controller, so I can access anything that is inside this page controller. If you hold your control key, then click on it, you see that it will take you to the page controller, so you can access anything inside there. So now I'm going to create my express router. So I'll just do express dot router is a built-in function that allows you to specify your endpoint, to route your application endpoint. So now I'm going to store this express router in a variable I can that can allow me access it, use it to perform some specific HTTP method. So I stored it in this router. So anytime I want to use this express router, I will call router. Then here now I will do module.export to export this express router. If you didn't do this module.export router, it will throw you an error if you link if you now connect it here in your root file directory. So now I will just come here, I will do app.get, I'll open my parentheses, specify my path, then slash home page like this. Take note of how you name your routing. So now here now I'll just do page count. What is my controller? Const page count. So now I will know whether it grabs my page controller. So now I will just do app dot router dot get home page, then my page controller. Then if you do page count dot, you see the functions inside, any function that you create inside the page controller, so you can access it like this. So now, but before this, if you refresh, let's copy this. I just copied it. If you restart our server, controllers, we have an error, cannot find module dot slash controllers page count. So now the error is from here, dot slash. It's not bringing out option, dot slash controller slash forward slash page count. Let's restart our server. Sorry, let me check the issues. Dot slash src slash my controller code page count, cannot find module. Let's restart our server. Cannot find module. Yeah, cannot find module. So if you did not get the part of the if you not get the part in importing your controller, it will show you this error, cannot find module. So you check your, okay, it's from here. So I don't know that I did it here. So I'll just come here and do dot slash. I'll do dot slash or dot slash controller page count page count. So let me know whether it will still throw error. So now my server is running successfully. So you require your page controller, your controller. So it depends. So now I only have my page controller, so I'm working any function that I write here, any module, I will handle the routing in this page. So you take note of that. So now if I say page count dot get home page, if I click on this, it will take me to this controller to show you that it's connected. So now, but for this, if I come here now, copy this URL now to my browser, then click on it, it will say cannot get home page. Why? We have not connected it to our root file, so that Express will use the route, the page route, so that it can work well. So now I'm going to remove this here. It's a mistake. It was a mistake. So now I will require, for me to successfully connect this route, page route, to this app.js, our root file. So any route that you create, you connect it here in this root file directory. So now I will require it. I will say const page route is equal to require page route. So now it's in route folder, then page route. So now I will require Express to use this page route. So if you use app.use which is the instance of this Express, if you do app.use, then you specify the page route. So I'm requiring Express to use this page route. So now it will come to this, it will move to this page route, then perform anything that is inside. So now I will restart my server. I'll do node app.js, so cannot find module page page route. I'll do dot forward slash. I'll restart my server, page route. Why is this showing error? Cannot find module. Okay, sorry, we missed something. If you do dot forward slash, you see a src, then forward slash your route folder plus the page route file. So now, like this, now let's restart our server. It won't show error. So our server is running successfully. So now that you have successfully used the page route in your Express is using the page route in this our root file directory, so you can be able to access any endpoint in this your page route, our page route here. So now if I refresh, you see hello world. So it retrieves this function here. So that's how it works and all that. So another, you can just change this to a post request, then here got hello world, got a post request from the client side. So now remember I'll go to my postman to test this API. So now I'll just copy this URL path, then replace it with this forward slash this, then send. Cannot, oh sorry, we made a mistake. So now you do send home page. What's the error? App.use home page. App.use home page. So now let's restart our server so that we can track the error where it's coming from. So our server is running successfully. So why is it showing error? Why is it showing error? So let me go back to my this thing. I will so the error. Oh, I don't know. So let me create a fresh this thing. So I'll just copy this, paste here, then my post request. So then I'll choose this, or I'll just leave it. So now I will, this is my route, then I'll send. So hello world got a post request from the client side. So now this our function here successfully executed because this route specified by the user, it matches this path specified here. That's why this function is executed. So that's how routing works in Node.js. Hope you understood the stuff. So see you in the next video. Thank you.